What's going on, guys? Cody Marchand from HydeAndZeke.com, and we are going to dive into a week 2 first look here on Draftkings. Before I do anything else, I want to thank you guys for all the support you've shown this weekend. It was really great having a live stream with you guys. We're going to be doing that every single week. I have like 7 more videos for you this week. I think I'm going to be putting out pretty much daily content. I don't know if I want to go live yet this week on Thursday night before the showdown slate and Sunday morning. Let me know in the comments if that's something you do want me to do. If this video gets 12 likes, then I will go live on Thursday right before lock, and we can talk about the showdown slate. Right now, what we want to do is break down the first look for week 2. How happy are you guys that NFL is back? It was so sick being able to sit down on my couch for like 10 hours and just binge out on football. I still have the NFL Game Pass, so I'm going to go back and watch every game closer. Obviously, pretty much all I've done is watch Red Zone. So I've seen every play, every highlight at least, but I haven't gone back and watched the film on everybody. I will be doing that this week, so if you have any questions on what I'm looking at or what I'm seeing, hit me up on Twitter at HydeAndZeke, and I'll just discuss what I saw. So, what a great week, guys. We had rookies ball out. We had Hollywood Brown. We had A.J. Brown. We had... What else do we have? We had Mahomes doing his thing. Sammy Watkins blowing up. John Ross coming back out of nowhere. Football's back. It's as crazy as ever. And that slate was ridiculous. It was a very profitable slate for me in week 1. The thing is, the prices were so great. We took advantage of the prices where we needed to. Week 2 is nothing like that. As I looked through this, I went through it for just enough so that I could write this article. And I didn't even write the article yet, because I think that I'm going to hook up just you guys when I said, hey, instead of having all my information in the article, I'm going to hook up the people like you that are watching the videos. So I just gave my picks, the prices, and my projections with no information. That's basically, if you want information on players, you have to come to the YouTube channel. That's why you guys are going to get all this. But it's kind of night and day from last week in terms of pricing. Obviously, Draftkings week 1 is a little bit soft, but I didn't know it was going to be this crazy already. Some of the games just aren't as great. There's not going to be as high-scoring games for team totals. So that's one of the things that's going to be a little bit tougher. Last week I scored 195 in my cash games. It's probably going to be looking more like a normal, 140, 145 points to win in your cash games. But that's all right. We just have to find better spots. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So, first things first, we've got to start at the quarterback position. Patty Mahomes at 7,500 against the Oakland Raiders. Granted, we have not seen Oakland play yet because I'm recording this video at noon on Monday, and they play tonight. I think they're the second game at the 10 o'clock Monday night game, so we don't know who they are, but they're still going to be the Raiders. We're pretty sure. They had 3 first-round picks, 2 of them on the defensive side of the ball, but we're not banking on that turning around this defense at all. Patrick Mahomes, see the questionable tag. He did come out with a sprained ankle from this game, but he went right back into the game, so I don't think it's a huge deal. And this matchup compared to the one against Jacksonville I just had is cake. He still came out and balled out. How did he do against Oakland last year? I know that I was just about to say, I know he had one of his worst games last year against Oakland, but I know it was week 17, and they just crushed him, so 33 points. Yeah, it's just I just wanted to see real quick kind of where he was at against them last season. But in week 1, he had, 378 yards, 378 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. He was just dicing people up, guys. It was just vintage Patrick Mahomes. Yes, Tyreek Hill's probably going to miss this game. I think it's already been announced. But he still has Samuel Watkins, Mecole Hardman, Travis Kelce, Damian Williams. I'm not really worried about his weapons and having Tyreek Hill or not. He's still just that much more dominant at the position than the replacements. This week is one of those weeks that if you can fit Patrick Mahomes, which I am trying to do, I am going to be trying to pay up there. Lamar Jackson was just a baller. What do you have? 20 pass attempts, 17 completions. I hate that the game log isn't updated because I'm just so used to going to this screen. But Jackson completed 17 to 20 passes for 324 yards and 5 touchdowns. I understand they will not be playing against the Dolphins every single week. But in week 2, they will be playing against almost just as soft of a defense in Arizona. Arizona was the second worst defense against running backs last season, I'm pretty sure. And I'm not calling them running back. I'm just saying they're not as strong in their linebacking core and just stopping the run in general. They just got diced up pretty well by Matt Stafford, and that is what it is. Actually, let me look at that game because obviously it went into overtime. I just wanted to see what Stafford's line was in passing yards. I know they had 385 yards. So he diced them out pretty well. I'm pretty sure that this is a really good matchup for Lamar Jackson. I don't know if it's a great price at 6,700, but if he comes back and smashes again this week, I wouldn't be surprised. But I would be rather going $800 more to get up to Mahomes. But Lamar Jackson 6,700 is as tough as it is to say at 6,700 is cash viable again this season or again this week. Sean Watson against Jacksonville, probably not looking there. Haven't seen him play yet tonight. Maybe if he goes off, it'll be in consideration, but it's not a great matchup. Aaron Rodgers, that's tough matchup. We saw what Minnesota did to Matt Ryan, just stifle that offense. Tom Brady, 6,400 is tough, but the thing is, Miami just got destroyed. Tom Brady looked great, and Antonio Brown's going to be coming next week. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like in terms of playing time for Antonio Brown. We know that the Patriots have a pretty tough playbook to learn when it comes to the wide receiver position, so it's pretty likely that he kind of takes some time to adjust to the playbook. But still Antonio Brown, I think that's going to open up a lot of things. I would not be surprised if Brady has an easy 3-touchdown game, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Sony Michel punches in 3 of these touchdowns. So it's one of those things where at 6,400, I think I like Brady a little bit more in GPP than cash, but I think it's fine to get to in cash. Dak was a monster, 5 touchdowns, 25 of 32, 405, and 4 touchdowns. Perfect quarterback rating. Guy needs to get paid. That new offense with Kellen Moore looked legit. Washington defense, didn't have too much slowing down Carson Wentz. They did in the first half, but Carson Wentz showed what they could do. 6,300, don't love the price in a road game where I think they're only favored by 3.5. But I don't see getting away from him here at 6,300. He's not a player I'm fading for sure. Russell Wilson 6,200 against Pittsburgh. I am fading Russell Wilson. Completed 14 passes, guys. He's just rushing 4 times for 8 yards. 2 of them were at the very last drive of the game, kind of salting away the clock. So Wilson is just not viable for me in cash right now until further notice, basically. Drew Brees, good matchup. I think this is going to be one of the higher Vegas totals of the week. But I'm not going to be getting to Drew Brees, I don't think, at 6,200. I have no interest in Rivers or Garoppolo. I have a lot more interest in Goff than Brees, just because the weapons and game flow is what I think is going to be happening, and the $300 discount. Big Ben, not going to get to against Seattle. Mitch, not going to get to. Kyler Murray, it's tough at 5,400. It's a good price, but we know how good Baltimore is on defense. He looked awful at the beginning of the game, turned around fourth quarter in overtime, ended up with 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. And what did he do rushing the ball? Murray wasn't involved as a runner and finished with just 13 yards and 3 carries. So that's important to note, guys, that people were worried about his overall speed just not being a difference maker when it comes to these NFL caliber speeds that he's going to be facing on defense. And it's just one thing to notice going forward. He could turn around and have a 70-yard rushing day, but it is just one thing to be aware of, that it might be harder to get these rushing yards in the NFL than we thought it could have been. So 5,400, Murray's in play. Dalton, I'm not getting to. Kirk Cousins threw the ball 10 times. Until further notice, Kirk Cousins is off my radar. Josh Allen is one of my, for sure, in play players this week at 5,300 against the Giants. Just got torched by Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a much better passer than Josh Allen, but he's definitely not one of those top-tier guys as a passer, so I'm not too worried about, Dak being not being able to take things away from that game because Dak and Josh aren't the same. It's not as big of a gap as people want to say. I'm not a huge Josh Allen fan, but Dak isn't one of those elite passers. And Josh started to look better at the end of the game. That first pick went off his receiver's hand, and it was a pick 6. Obviously, he had 4 turnovers, which is not good. 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles, but he ran the ball 10 times again. John Brown looked great. I think that this Giants defense just won't be able to stop him a lot. I think that Josh Allen at 5,300 is a great cash quarterback this week. Might be chalky, actually, but I won't know. It's only Monday, so we don't know. Matt Stafford against the Chargers. I don't hate it at 5,200 at home, but I don't think you need to get there anyways. The defense is good. We're going to dismiss that. Matt Stafford, Nick Foles, obviously out for we don't know how long with that broken clavicle. Jaguars haven't yet made the transaction official. Oh, he hasn't been placed on IR. It doesn't sound like he'll be ready in 6 weeks, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We might get a discount at Gardner Minshew if that's a place that you want to play. Where were we? Nick Foles, Derek Carr. That's a great price against a 5,100, right? It's just tough. It's just tough without Antonio Brown. I think 5,100 for Derek Carr against KC with AB would have been where I'd be going on the slate. But, with Tyrell Williams being your best receiver, Hunter Renfrow on the inside, maybe Ryan Grant, Josh Jacobs, and, Darren Waller. It's not exactly one of those teams that just has crazy weapons. Even in a great spot, I think that you can do better. Like, I'm not going to save 2,400 from Mahomes to Carr to get most likely 10, 11, or 12 less points. So I'm probably not going to go Derek Carr, but it's not bad. If you can wrap your head and really convince yourself how great this offense can be, then I think you should go Derek Carr. Mariota, I'm not getting to. Brissett, I'm not getting to. Keenum looked great. 30 of 45 for 380 yards and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions. Keenum was balling. Terry McLaurin, my guy, the rookie receiver out of Ohio State, was awesome. Case Keenum, when you ask him to do what he does well, is just a really good quarterback. I think that he had a tough season last year, but I think that he's very viable at 5,000 this week. He's going to be somebody that's going to be low owned again. But 5K, obviously he's not going to put up 400 yards and 3 touchdowns every day, but he has that ability in him. Much tougher defense against Dallas at home, but still, Eagles aren't a pushover on defense, so that's something to keep in mind. Eli not getting to, Flacco not getting to. The last one I think that is in play would be Gardner Minshew. Let me just make sure there's nothing below it. Yeah, Gardner Minshew is the last one I have in play. What's his stat line? 22 of 25 for 275 and 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I'm not a huge fan of Minshew. I know that he looked great, 88% completion percentage. It is what it is. He looked really good coming in. I don't think that Houston's the same as Kansas City when it comes to defense. Houston's a little bit tougher, even though they lost a lot of help on that side of the ball. Minshew, I don't think they're going to go out there and sling it. 25 times might be his ceiling for attempts. I might be way off, but I'm going to conservatively say he ends up with 28 or 29 pass attempts, and he's not going to go 88% completion. His passes were kind of high 8 out when it comes to Chris Conley and DJ Chark. He was looking downfield a good amount, but it's just not a spot I'm going to get to. I don't think you need to this week. So that's really where my head's at quarterback. I like the top. I like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. I think that Jared Goff is fine. I think Kyler Murray's fine. I think Josh Allen's fine. And that's pretty much where my player pool is just on the first look. So obviously I kind of want to be at Patrick Mahomes, but let's just plug in Josh Allen right now. Defenses, let me just go real quick because I want to just quickly go over them. I don't want to dive in depth. We don't have that much time. Defenses, the 3 defenses I have in play this week are Jacksonville against Houston, just because Houston has to throw the ball a lot. Deshaun Watson historically takes a lot of sacks. Basically, I want good defenses that are going to have a lot of opportunities to rush the passer with a weaker offensive line. New York Giants versus Buffalo, same type deal. Josh Allen is just turnover prone. I played Chris Godwin last week and San Francisco defense. Looking back, I shouldn't have played Chris Godwin, but I don't hate having one guy on the other side of the ball that he thinks to be doing well and running it back with the defense on the other side. Obviously, if Josh Allen's my quarterback, I won't go to the Giants. And Denver versus Chicago. Denver is just so good on defense. They have Vic Fangio coming over as their head coach, who was the previous defensive coordinator for Chicago. And Mitch Trubisky looked awful. But we're just going to plug in the Jacksonville Jaguars at 2,400. What should we go to next? Let's go to tight end, because there's only one guy that I want to talk about. Obviously, it's fine to go up here. Evan Ingram was a monster. I don't like Buffalo, but 11 of 14 targets was awesome. This is who was my cash-in quarterback all week. But there is a few people that you can go to, right? If you go to my article, there's 2 people I want to talk to, which are these 2. Pretty much everyone's going to say, Cody, you're overreacting. There's not going to be one more game this entire season where you can get TJ Hawkinson for $3,000. He's legit. There's a reason he was the number 8 overall pick. He had double-digit targets 9 targets, 131 receiving yards on 6 catches, and a touchdown. TJ Hawkinson is actually good. Matt Stafford wants to get him the ball. I understand Matt Stafford had an abnormal amount of passing attempts, which I said all last week that he would. TJ Hawkinson at 3K, lock that in, guys. Like, that's where I'm going. Too easy. Delaney Walker is also in play at 3,500. He had 2 touchdowns. Obviously, can't really predict those, but 6 targets right out the gate. 3,500. I'm not paying up at tight end this week. I'd rather have Delaney Walker or TJ Hawkinson. I don't want to have any in between. Like, obviously, Mark Andrews is also fine, but I don't want any of these in between tight ends. I either want a cheap, solid player like Delaney Walker, Mark Andrews, or TJ Hawkinson, or I want to pay up for Evan Ingram, Kelsey, or Kittle. I don't want like Vance McDonald, Eric Ebron, Jimmy Graham, Trey Burton, like this range. I don't want any of these players. Give me either Hawk, Delaney, or one of the top guys. I'm going to go Hawk because I think that the values aren't as great at the running back and wide receiver position for next week. So we're going to have to save some money, which we have so far. Let's go to running back. At the top, obviously, Saquon. That was just criminally underused. He was killing it running the ball, and he got, 11 carries for 120 yards. Just disrespectful. This is a tough matchup, which even though Le'Veon Bell did perform very well against Buffalo Bills, it's just not a team that you want to be, going after. Saquon's going to get his. Doesn't really matter the defense, but at 9,200, I would rather have, Alvin Kamara for 1,000 cheaper, which is probably my play of the week. He's just a beast at both running the ball, receiving the ball. His offense scores points. He's 100%, I don't think there's a question about it, the most likely player on this entire slate at any given week to score a touchdown. He'll probably lead the league in touchdowns when you combine receiving and rushing. And I don't think it'll be particularly close. So I'm going to lock in Alvin Kamara. Dalvin Cook was a monster. I think Green Bay defense is a little bit better than we think, but 7,200 is probably going to be cheaper end of his prices going on for the rest of the season. He's going to be good. David Johnson was awesome. He lined up as a receiver 14 times, I think, yesterday, which is more than he did the entire season last year. And basically, back in his MVP type season when he had 20 touchdowns, he lined up as a receiver 11.9 times per game. So this is super encouraging. Caught a long 30-plus yard passing touchdown, and it was just great. I don't know. It won't say exactly what the line was because I don't get to have the numbers up with me. But just know he was great in the passing game. He was solid in the running game. They stuck with him. Not a good matchup at all against Baltimore, but just good to know moving forward. Todd Gurley, everybody is just writing off completely. Yeah, Malcolm Brown got those touches at the goal line, but it's not like Todd Gurley was in every single play before that, and they took it out just for the ball at the 2 to give it to Malcolm Brown. There was a Malcolm Brown series on one of them, and it was after a few plays where they would just naturally switch anyway, and Malcolm Brown had a nice little touchdown there. So I'm not as concerned as everybody else. I think Gurley gets at least 1 or 2 opportunities at the end zone in this game. They're probably going to be the highest or second highest projected points total for the week because as of right now, obviously it's Monday, things change, but the line is -3 Rams, and I'm pretty sure that line isn't going to be a 50 over-under. It's probably going to be more 55, 56, and as a favorite, they're probably going to be close to, 30 projected points. I think Gurley is a great chance to get in the end zone at 7K. I'll take the discount while everybody else is going to be off him. Chris Carson was fine. Sony at 6,200 I'm very interested in. He was awful last night. 15 carries for 14 yards. No passing game work, no touchdowns. As bad as it gets, he's playing against the Dolphins. The Dolphins will cure all wounds this season. They are just awful. That team is not an NFL caliber team right now. They're just gutted. They are in full tank mode. I'm interested at 6,200 for Sonny Michel. This is my range, guys. I love these 4 players this week. Eckler, Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, all had big weeks. All have good matchups. The best matchup is probably Mark Ingram against Arizona. Austin Eckler is probably, the best bet to be productive. And Derrick Henry is that, consistency that you're looking for. He's going to get probably the biggest workload out of the group. So pick your poison there. They're all 6 to 6,200. Marlon Mack was a beast. I'm not going to play him against this Tennessee Titans defense. Damian Williams, I am interested in at 5,800. Carry on, no thank you against that Charger defense. I know that Marlon Mack just went off, but He haven't showed me enough yet. I'm not really interested in this range. David Montgomery, I just want to touch on real quick. I'm not avoiding David Montgomery at all. I think that they'll figure it out. I think at 4,900 it's a good price if you want to go there. I don't think you have to get there this week, but you can. Josh Jacobs against KC for 4,700. I'm going to lock that one in. I think that's way too easy of a price. I think we got to go there at 4,700. I think that against KC, we know it's easy to run the ball against them. I think he's still going to be in on a lot of passing down work. And I think that they're just going to have to put up points, and I think he'll do that. And I think he is a great option at 4,700. Going down the list, there's no one that really stands out to me below this. Let me just make sure I don't have anybody that I forgot about down this list. Yeah, Darius Guys and Latavius Murray are fine, but there's just not a lot on this slate that I love at that position. So I'm going to price it more around this level. At wide receiver at the top, again, pretty tough matchups, but if I'm paying for a top receiver, I'm paying for Hopkins. I'm definitely paying for Hopkins out of this group. As you start to come down, I love the Tom Brady and Antonio Brown stack for GPPs. I'm not going to get there in cash. It's just way too risky, no need. Tyler Boyd got double-digit targets again. But for a little bit cheaper, I think I like Robert Woods better than Tyler Boyd. He had 13 targets. He's going to be in a game where he needs to go off. I think last year when they played, he had 11 targets in the playoff game and 9 targets in the regular season. I guess those weren't his best games, but it's just one of those game scripts where the Rams are going to have to keep their foot on the pedal, even if they do take a lead, which, who knows, it's against the Saints. I think Robert Woods is the most consistent player on this Rams team, and cash, he's where I want to go to. Cooks and Kupp are fine. Let me just find Kupp real quick. I think his stat line was all right. They were all short targets. Yeah, 7 for 46, but 10 targets is encouraging. But that's kind of where he's at if he doesn't get a touchdown. Diggs, I'm kind of sketched out about. Tyler Lockett, non-cash. Allen Robinson, super tough matchup, but he looks so good. Josh Gordon, not enough volume, I think, but easily could get 100 yards and touchdowns, so that's kind of tough to pass on. John Brown, I do like a lot with Josh Allen. I don't think you should have to stack anything in cash, but I don't hate the correlation here. I kind of like John Brown 5,200. Is there anything right below I like more? Hollywood Brown, I don't like him more, but what a game. 4 or 5 targets for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. The discouraging thing was that he only played 12 snaps, I think, but we see how good he is when he is out there on the field. Marvin Jones, I'm not going to get there. MVS is one thing I want to keep in mind because, yeah, he only had 4 catches for 52 yards last week, but he had 6 targets. He was out there on almost every single play where it was a passing down play when he wasn't hurt. And I think that this is going to be one of those games where Minnesota should be leading. I think that Aaron Rodgers and that offense are going to look a lot better than they did last week. I know it's a tougher matchup, or just as tough of a matchup, but I think that MVS is one of the best bets to get a 100-yard game. I don't think I can get there in cash. I don't know yet. But for right now, I'm just going to skip him for right now. Willie Snead not getting there. Christian Kirk, I love the volume. I think he got 12 targets, but efficiency's not there. Matchup isn't there. TJ Chark, not enough opportunities for me. I know he had a great game. Randall Cobb had a great game. 4 or 5 targets for 69 yards and a touchdown, but everyone on the Cowboys did. Tyrell Williams at 4,400, guys. You really need to pay attention to what he does tonight. If he has a great game, this is an easy spot against KC. DK Metcalf against Pittsburgh, this is really interesting. He got 4 or 6 targets for 89 yards. Just sucks to rely on teams that aren't high volume, but I think that 4,300, he's gonna outperform his value or his price. Chris Conley, Cortland Sutton, Devontae Parker. I don't think we need to get to any of these. Hunter Renfrow, I'm interested in. Danny Amendola, I'm very interested in. 7 of 13 targets for 104 yards. I know that people are going to say, yeah, he's not that talented. I like Danny Amendola. Kiki Cutie, something to monitor tonight for sure because I love that price. Terry McLaurin was a beast. What else? There's something else cheap that I really liked, but I don't remember now. Let me see. What did I get to? Oh, Traquan Smith I liked as well, but that's something to monitor tonight. Oh, I just paid up for Hopkins. That's where my lineup's different because I just paid up for Hopkins. For flex, I do want to keep it on the ground. Pick your favorite between Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Sonny Michel, and Mark Ingram. I'm going to go Derrick Henry. I have way too much money, so I'm going to make some adjustments, but let's go to the wide receiver. Who do you like? I said that I liked Robert Woods. That was the truth. I have 10K left. All right. I guess I'll just see. I want to get to Mahomes then. 7,900. I can't get to Hopkins. Blech. What can I do then? What if I get to Hopkins? Who can I get to at 62? Tyler Lockett, Allen Robinson. And I can leave some money on the table if I go like Josh Gordon. Smokey John Brown. Anyone else in the 4,900 range I like? Marvin Jones, Larry Fitz. Nope. Let me get back to him. At 3,900, Danny Amy. Hawkins, John Brown. Where else can I get even better? Is there a 7K flex I like better than Derrick Henry? Yeah, there is. Yeah, I'm just going to switch out Derrick Henry and Todd Gurley. So I'm going to go Alvin Kamara, Todd Gurley, Josh Jacobs, Patrick Mahomes, DeAndre Hopkins, Danny Amendola, John Brown, TJ Hawkinson, and the Jaguars defense. If you guys stuck around for the entire first look, I appreciate it. Ask me any questions in the comment. Ask me any questions at HydeAndZeke on Twitter. If you made it this far, please like the video. Subscribe. We're going to be doing a ton of videos. I want to grow this channel, and it'll only happen with more subscribers. We're going to be doing a lot of live streams every single week. Let me know if you're going to be there on Thursday or Sunday. If this video gets 12 likes, remember, we're going live on Thursday, and we're always going live on Sunday. So I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next